Hi class. I've had a few questions posed about simplifying radicals, and I thought this short little video might help to jog your memory. You know, when you have a division problem in which the radical's in the denominator, that's not considered simplest form. So to simplify that, what we do is rationalize the denominator. And to rationalize, we multiply by a name for 1, and the name that we choose here is the radical. So we're going to use the square root of 3 divided by the square root of 3. That's just another name for 1. So if we multiply both the numerator and denominator by that, we end up with 2 square root of 3 divided by the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is square root of 9, which is 3. So we've gone from an irrational denominator of square root of 3 to now a rational number. And that's our goal. Even in something like this, a fraction, we need to separate it first and think of it as the square root of 2 divided by the square root of 3. And then we can see, oh yes, we do have a radical in the denominator, so we need to rationalize this denominator by multiplying by a name for 1, which is the square root of 3 divided by the square root of 3. And as we multiply numerators, we end up with the square root of 6. And here we've got the square root of 9, which is just plain old 3. Now, you might look at this and say, well, I can reduce that. No, no, no. 3 will not divide into this radical 6. So just be careful with that, okay? That's not something that can be reduced. And then in this last little example, the square root of 150, if we think of that as being the factor of two numbers, and one of those numbers needs to be a perfect square. So when I look at square root of 150, I'm thinking, okay, what's a perfect square that divides into that? Well, one such perfect square is 25. You know, you can find the square root of 25, right? So 25 will go into 150 6 times. So this 150 factors as 25 times 6. And then we can take the square root of this 25, which is just plain old 5, and that leaves us with 6 in the radical. I hope this helps.